But those ship's boats would have been about 50 feet long, so, and you had several of them depending on what class frigate you were. So once again, the old ways. We had, years back, we were trying to remember if we were thrown out of Fort Washington Marina. I actually asked politely to leave. It had changed management, and we were going down to my farm where we keep it these days in southern Maryland. We've been all over Annapolis and other locations too, but whoever offers free berthing is smiled upon. If any of you have waterfront property in centralized locations. So we traveled 60 miles down the Potomac. It took us 5 days. We had one wonderful day of sailing and 4 very interesting days of rowing. Okay? And it occurred to me at that point that before the invention of the steam engine, this is what the world was like. Okay? You only had the power of your own arm or an animal. My father used to take the steamboat down from Washington and then ride the ox cart to the farm. Okay? Ox carts go about 1 to 2 miles an hour. We rode at about 1 to 2 knots when the wind was against us. And that's what the world was like. The world was a much bigger place. And this is fairly consistent through hundreds and hundreds of years. And even worse during the Viking Age, because the technology of the sails hadn't caught up with the capability of what was to come with the fore and after rig and such. Square rigs aren't bad, but they're not great. And they're very romantic, and they're great when you got trade winds and things like that, but they're tricky and you've got to work with them. And sometimes you just break out the oars and head dead into the wind, and you get there. Yay! And if you can't get there, the other secret of Viking navigation is they didn't have to be at work Monday morning, right? So these days, it's blowing 20 knots on the nose, you're busting your tailbone at the rowing bench, and people are saying, I've got to be to work Monday morning. In the old days, you had 20 knots on the nose, you were busting your tail on the rowing bench, and you'd say, let's pull into that creek there, drop the hook, and give up for the night. Okay? Or at least take a few hours, you know. If the crab pots are passing you, that's a bad sign. All right, so we'll take a few hours, wait for the tide to change. That's actually happened, by the way. Swan Point, terrible. Any other questions?
I think we should probably have to wrap it up a little
Yeah,
bit.
I'm sorry.
No problem. Thank you so much. I just want to thank Bruce for coming here, and we're hoping that maybe in the future one of the activities that we could plan as an outing would be for some of us to come down and people who are willing to row come down and
we can have a few people that can serve as lookouts.
that can serve as lookout. Okay, we'll bear that in mind. To head down to St. Mary's.
Obedient bells. Just not too many. Okay.
Not too many. And as a little thank you from us, we have a little gift basket which contains, we hope someone in your group at least drinks some coffee, which is very Swedish here, from a very famous restaurant in Wisconsin. That's a Swedish restaurant, and there's a little book that goes out with that and such. So here's a little thank you package from Bob.
Thank you all. Vikings have never turned down free food. in my haversack, which I wear for my full head-to-toe Viking demonstration, I've got spoons and eating bowls, because you never know when you might run into something you can eat. Be ready for it. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Oh, and please feel free to come up and...
My daughter is a crew member.